Hi, I'm Katie Roach with the Community Voice. Today I'd like to tell you about a food and fun drive that's happening here in Johnson County. It's called Thanksgiving in July, and it's a way for our community to come together to provide food for people in our area who may not have the food that they need for themselves or their families. A bit different from your typical food drive, this one gives you an opportunity to find your own way to participate, to bring something to the table, if you will. To start things off, I met with one of the founders of Thanksgiving in July, Ron Hall. Ron is also the executive chef at Mercy Iowa City, one of the major sponsors of this community effort. Ron, what exactly is Thanksgiving in July?
Thanksgiving in July is a countywide food drive held the last week in July. It's countywide, benefits the Crisis Center Food Bank and distributed throughout the community.
So how can community members get involved?
People can get involved by doing their own food drives. They can do individual donations, stop by their local grocery store. There'll be drop-off barrels for them to drop food donations into. They can also do a cash donation, which is greatly appreciated, helps them buy the food they needed when they needed, and then they can also drop off the food last Saturday at the trailers in the parking lots.
Well, things might be stretched a little thin for some people right now, but I imagine any kind of donation helps.
Absolutely. You know, that 1 or 2 cans, you know, when the Crisis Center puts those sacks together, it's 1 or 2 cans at a time, and it does make a difference. It brings something to the table, from your table, your counter, to somebody else's home, and it's always greatly appreciated.
You can find out about specific ways to participate in this year's Thanksgiving in July, as well as get some ideas for holding your own food and fun drive at thanksgivinginjuly.org. I also spoke with Dana Ballantyne, the food bank director for the Crisis Center located in Iowa City. All of the food and money raised through Thanksgiving in July will be distributed through the Crisis Center, which currently serves over 4,000 families in Johnson County. Now that translates to over 13,000 individuals in our area who are able to receive assistance at a time when they need it most. I know that sometimes people don't recognize the need in their own communities. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, unfortunately, poverty in Iowa City and throughout Johnson County is somewhat invisible. You know, we don't realize that a lot of the people that we see that are working as teachers' aides or nurses' aides, working behind the cash register at a lot of the retail locations around Johnson County really do struggle to provide food for themselves and food for their families. Many times our community members are surprised to learn that over 50% of the families that we work with are employed. Unfortunately, they don't make enough money to cover the rising housing costs in Johnson County, in addition to gas prices and utility bills, and meeting all of their other family needs like medical expenses, for example.
So why Thanksgiving in July? Is there an increased need in the summertime?
Yeah, we primarily serve families throughout Johnson County, and what we find is throughout the summer months when the children are home from school, parents really struggle with providing the food needs for that additional breakfast and lunch for the kids who normally participate in free lunch programs through school. And then in addition, on top of that, they have often added child care costs or activity fees associated with camps and other summer activities that the children participate in.
Now, when people donate food items, how do people that need the items actually get them?
Well, we do get referrals from a lot of other agencies across Johnson County, but our biggest referral actually comes from family members or friends who have heard about our service, perhaps church members who have found out that somebody is in need, and they'll encourage them to come here to the Crisis Center while they'll meet with a trained volunteer. During that first contact, we'll talk to them about their situation, what resources they have available, and what their needs are. After that first interview, we provide whatever services we have on hand, so we may distribute food or diapers, help with clothing vouchers, other financial assistance as needed, and then we do referrals to other agencies as well, so we can help get them connected to other programs that may also meet their needs.
And have you seen a rising need with the recent flooding here in Iowa?
We have. We have joined with United Way in Johnson County to provide disaster relief for anybody in Johnson County who was affected by the flood. And through that partnership, we've been able to assist over 100 households so far just in the past week.
So how is money that is donated used by the Crisis Center?
Well, any financial contributions that come in through Thanksgiving in July will be pooled together, and we'll use those funds to buy food and diapers and other needed products in bulk. And fortunately, when we have enough donations that have accumulated, we're able to purchase in a large enough quantity that we get a pretty considerable discount.
So what would you say is the #1 reason that people should get involved with Thanksgiving in July?
I think one of the beauties of Thanksgiving in July is it truly boils down to neighbors helping neighbors. It's an opportunity for individuals and businesses to get together and recognize that, yes, there are individuals in our community that are less fortunate, that need an extra helping hand. And by joining together, we can provide for those needs and ensure that everybody has food on their table when they go home.
So, as you've heard, there really is a need right here in our own community. And Thanksgiving in July offers you a number of ways to help, from coming up with your own idea to gather food or money from your friends and neighbors, to picking up a few extra items at the grocery store and dropping them in a collection barrel. It can even be as simple as writing a check. Even a small donation can go a long way. Next, I spoke with Chuck Ireland. He's the manager of store operations at the Hy-Vee Food Store on Waterfront Drive in Iowa City. Hy-Vee is a major sponsor for Thanksgiving in July, and Chuck told us about some of the additional ways in which you can donate to this cause, and also gave us an idea of the kinds of food that are needed most. Chuck, how is Hy-Vee involved with Thanksgiving in July?
As the annual food drive goes, we actually are a drop-off site for food on that Friday and Saturday, and cash donations that are taken here. We will have a truck from Hawkeye Foods sitting out in our parking lot, whereas people come in, they can purchase prepared bags and drop off cash donations to donate to the Crisis Center Food Bank.
And with cash donations, that helps the Crisis Center to donate food at discount? And
yes, the Crisis Center actually, through volume buying, can achieve a lower cost than you can achieve individually at the store. So any cash donations they receive is a huge help to them.
That's great. What kind of items are needed?
Any non-perishable food items. Also, they ask that you supply some simple household items, such as in the past they've asked for toilet paper and diapers, but baby formula, canned fruits, vegetables, soups, any type of protein, as in peanut butter or canned fish or meat, are a huge help for them.
What do you say is the most important reason that people should participate in Thanksgiving in July?
Especially with the tragedy that's happened over the summer in the city and in Johnson County, the need for food and other assistance in Johnson County has grown huge. Any amount of food or cash that anyone could donate could help people that are less fortunate in the community, and really help the Crisis Center, which has been a long-standing resource for the needy in this community.
So, Thanksgiving in July is your opportunity to help the Crisis Center to provide the food assistance that is greatly needed in Johnson County, but it takes a real community-wide effort. Think about it like many of us might think about Thanksgiving. For instance, you might feel that a can of cranberry sauce that you bring to your friends or family's gathering doesn't really make much of a difference. But when you think about everybody bringing something to the table, the potatoes, the gravy, the stuffing, the turkey, you end up with quite a feast. So you see, if we all pitch in just a little bit, we can accomplish a lot. Together, we can have a real impact. You can make a difference. This year's Thanksgiving in July happens the week of July 21st through July 26th. Visit the website at www.thanksgivinginjuly.org for all the information you'll need to participate.